Tim from Indonesia. How are you guys?
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Nice to see you.
All right. Hi, Reggae. Hi, Jessica.
Good.
Good.
Tim,
How are you?
So, Joe, Anthony, we're anticipating not just another spy movie. What could the audience expect from The Gray Man?
Well, this is big, fun, ambitious, summer action movie. Highly entertaining. It combines real tension and action, emotional stakes with humor, quirky humor, and we're hoping that that audiences are thrilled and entertained when they watch it.
So you have a star-studded lineup. Well, you're used to that as well. But for one, Chris Evans, who you undoubtedly are familiar with, but this time in a totally different persona. Now, did that take much work to shift him from what you usually shaped him from into this?
I don't know.
No, I mean, Chris, we realized very quickly when we started working with Chris on the Captain America movies that he is one of the most gifted actors we've seen. He's really technically sophisticated. He's very smart, and he thinks like a filmmaker. He's very, very clever about the overall picture, not just his specific role in it. So we knew he had the capacity to do things far different from Captain America, even though that work that he did with that character was so unique and wonderful. So I think it just kind of tickled the three of us to be able to come up with a character that was so far away from the one we had been working on together up to that point. And that's, typically when we sort of can excite ourselves with an idea, when we find something fun and interesting and exciting, we sort of assume and hope that that the audiences will respond in a similar way.
Yeah, you have so much trust on him, and he has so much trust in you guys. I just interviewed him just a while ago, and I asked him what pushed you to taking the movie? Was it the script? Was it the story? And he said it was the Russo brothers. I just want to work with them, like whatever they're making. So I got you. I think you guys have always got a green pass for Chris Evans, I guess. So it took 10 years to develop. Is that true?
It did. I mean, we initially read the book 10 years ago while we were shooting Winter Soldier. I wrote a draft in between takes on that set, and then we got Civil War and then Infinity War and Endgame, so we had to put this aside for a while, and then went through some different iterations, and then once we were done with those films, we went and secured the rights to the movie and cast Ryan and Chris.
All right, so it's gonna be an explosive one of the most action-packed spy movies yet. Now, for The Gray Man, I'd like to know what excited you most when you read the script. What was it for you, Chris?
For me, it was the chance to work with the Russos again. The script is only as good as the director, right? I mean,
you trust them a lot.
Very much so. They're cinephiles. They know movies inside out. So a movie like this is really only as good as the storyteller. So
this is
go ahead.
Your sixth flick with them, I think. Is it?
Is that what it is? Yeah. I mean, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's the sixth one. That's right, yeah. And I mean, it's just it's a treat to work with them. Not only are they wonderful at what they do, but they're very enjoyable people.
How about you, Anna?
Oh my gosh, I thought, from day one that I talked to them that, it was a really cool project. I loved the script. I loved the characters, the real story underneath all this big action, I loved my character mostly. I thought that she was a treat, and I wanted to, do more in that, genre. I got only a few minutes on Bond, and I was like, I need more of this. This is so fun.
Flick.
Yeah, so I got now a full movie.
Okay, great. Now, tell us more about the action scenes. I'm sure the Russo brothers, or Chris would know so well, they push you really hard to give an explosive performance in every fight scene, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, they're cinephiles. They know movies inside and out, so they want their action to always be pushing and trying to do things that haven't been done before. And you know what they really excel at is understanding that leaning on different departments is a good thing.
Yeah.
Meaning, you know, if you have to have a good action sequence, get a good action coordinator. If you need a good, scene with a camera, get a good DP, get a good cinematographer. Lean on the departments that know their industry best, and then collaborate based on their skills.
Yeah, that is true. And also they are very, very specific at what they want, what the result has to be like. And they do delegate and they trust other teams. And we work with this, second unit or the, location, whatever, and then they watch it, and many times they also said that doesn't work, we have to repeat it. And we had to do it all over again, and it was painful. But at the end you watch the movie and you understand what their vision that they had from the beginning. They knew what they were looking for, so that's pretty cool.
So painful, but you've said it already. You want to do more. So more spy flicks for you, Anna, in the future?
Well, yes, why not?
She's so good at them. It would be a crime not.
I would agree. I agree. So Chris, having played one of the most loved superheroes, what was the most challenging thing for you to shift from that to become one of the most psychotic bad guys, I guess?
Sure. Well, I mean, that's that's the beauty of being an actor, that you get to kind of enjoy variety, and having played Captain America for so long, who's a very good man, but he's also very reserved and very very taciturn. So it's nice to play someone who's so verbal and liberated in terms of what society would expect.
All right. I'm sure a lot of people are excited to see how that outcome would be. Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
so much.
Now, Ryan, would you just tell us how you came to play the lead in this story, and how you feel about it after reading the script and then doing all that action?
I've always loved action movies. They were my first love. They made me want to make movies, but I've never gotten a chance to make one. I mean, I've done movies that have action in it, but never a full-blown action film. And, when I read this is just, it's that, like, it's an insane amount of action. And, making it with the Russo brothers, who've been doing this for the last decade, they're incredible partners. And then this character I thought was really, something I could play. He felt different than what I'd seen in other films, and he felt like somebody that I also could relate to. So
you immediately knew the character would fit you. What was it about the character of the main role here?
I just liked the idea that he was a spy who didn't want to be a spy. He had no romantic ideas of being James Bond or something. He's doing this because they pull him out of jail, and his choices are to die in jail or die as a spy. So, either way, it's a death sentence. And he chooses the way that, at least he gets to live a little bit before he dies, So over the course of the film, you see him sort of taking in the fireworks and dinner and the people he's meeting in a way that I think you don't normally see in these kind of films, because this is his only opportunity to have a life.
Now, as you said, you've had action flicks before. We know that, and none as explosive as this one, as you said as well. After doing that, did you expect getting a new experience after doing this film? And what was your best take of having so much action in one film?
I loved it. I thought it was, it wasn't easy,
I can imagine.
Extremely challenging. But it just, it was fun to do. I think it's fun to watch. It felt like it's a real escape. It's escape as an actor and as an audience. So I thought it was exciting. I'd love to do more of it.
So, are there no retakes? No, knowing it's an action movie and sometimes explosions happen and they could only happen once. How does that stress you out, knowing that we can't redo this. We got to get it right this one time.
We redid this so many times. And when you work with the Russos, that's not the case. You know, we shot whole action sequences, cut them together, watched them, and then threw them out and went back and started again, but that's also what's exciting about working with them too, is that it's, you always feel like there's an opportunity to make it better, and that that if you have ideas, you can go back and reincorporate them and stuff. It's always like a work in progress.
Now, I go to Reggae first. Reggae, if I were an actor, I'd imagine any role playing me in the CIA would definitely be an exciting one. So how do you feel about playing your character here?
Incredibly excited. I think that the best thing about this project is the scope that it takes on. There are no limits to where this film can go. The size of the movie itself travels all across the globe. The size of the action is unprecedented. I think the brothers have talked about 9 separate action sequences in this movie, all bigger than the last. And we all know that the size of movie that they pulled off in the past, there's no one who's done anything any bigger than them, and they're kind of only pushing themselves at this point. The prestige of the cast is incredibly exciting, and the challenge of simply keeping up with the standards that have been set by a group of actors who are all at the top of their game and the best in their fields is incredibly exciting. And so the challenge is simply being in that environment and maintaining those standards and pushing those standards is incredibly exciting for any actor, and certainly for myself.
So what excited you most, Jessica, about this movie and your character?
You stole all my answers.
As a good spy would. I was going to creep into a bag.
Alongside the aforementioned scope, I really was excited to play a character who didn't care about being liked. She doesn't really care about what people think about her. She has a goal in mind. She's very career focused, and she's willing to do what it takes. She's an interesting role because you feel bad for her, but then you also hate her.
Yeah.
And I think I really liked that. The fans of the book are kind of united in their hatred of her. Old, young fans, American, British, it doesn't matter. Everyone despises her. And that's really interesting to me. Like, why is she so unliked? Because she's actually not the main villain.
Yeah, but I want to know about you, Jessica. You have a name for landing roles in some of the biggest film franchises. Now having The Gray Man in your portfolio, what is your secret actually in landing all these?
Oh, my secret.
What is your secret, Jessica?
Yeah.
I don't think I have a secret, and it's not even. Everyone asks me, like, "Oh, you've done all the big genre franchises." It's not even intentional. It's totally accidental.
How do you accidentally get those
just
roles? Like everybody
compelling.
Those are just the projects which are interested in seeing me, and I think that's also a reflection of what roles are available for British East Asians. When I was starting out, there weren't that many. But I do feel very lucky, because almost everything that I've done, I was a huge fan of before I was cast. Like Game of Thrones, I was a massive fan, and then I was cast. And then, of course, I stopped watching it because I was in it. Star Wars, I was a big fan. The Matrix, I was a huge fan. I've just had a really...
Look at you. Who gets to just blows off?
You guys.
There are a couple of us. There are a couple of us who have the trifecta of Game of Thrones, Marvel, and Star Wars.
Hey, that's interesting. We should do an interview with those who have that trifecta. Jessica, Reggae, thanks so much for your time with me. We'll talk to you again. Good luck on the movie. See you. Bye-bye.